What's up Pika guys, and welcome to a top 10 video. So the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime is often hated by fans for its simpler and more rounded art style as compared to the older animes. However, I quickly came to like it after watching the first few episodes of the series after it aired. Sun and Moon has some of the greatest moments in the entire Pokemon anime, with amazing animation and sequences full of movement, mixed with hilarious expressions and comedic scenes. Thus, I decided to count down some of my favorite moments from this anime. Please note that the series is currently still airing, which means that there could be even better episodes in the future. So without further ado, let's begin. This moment comes from episode 5 of the Sun and Moon anime. The episode was mostly mediocre and involved Ash and his school friends heading out for some fishing. Just like most Pokemon episodes, Team Rocket came about disrupting the peace trying to catch Pikachu. The fun part began when Ash and Lana teamed up and defeated Team Rocket. Just when everyone thought Team Rocket was gonna blast off again, up came Beware, literally popping out of nowhere, running from on top of the ocean, jumping and catching Team Rocket, taking them to his place. This was one of the first times Beware randomly came about and took Team Rocket with him, and it was just hilarious. The way the scene was animated with Beware running like crazy and the exaggerated facial expressions made it one of my favorites. There are many more such scenes like the one in episode 12 where the facial expressions and animations make it even more hilarious. This next scene is quite similar to the one in the number 10 spot, but it takes the Beware randomly popping around and taking the Rocket Gang with him to a whole new level. Episode 33 of the anime takes place in Akala Island, where Team Rocket sneakily gets past Beware, but it quickly appears out of the waters where Jessie, James and Meowth are and grabs them, only to turn itself into a helicopter and fly away back to Melemele. Like what the heck? This was a brilliantly animated scene, and it made something pretty illogical and absurd into something hilarious to the point where I couldn't stop laughing. Moving away from the humorous Beware segments, we have a really sad and melancholic episode. Episode 21 revolves around Litten and Stoutland, a Pokemon who is like a teacher figure to Litten. We've been seeing these two since the beginning of the series. Stoutland, who is pretty old and is trying to teach the move Fire Fang to Litten, is slowly deteriorating in terms of health. Litten knows that Stoutland's days are short and is pretty lonely. Unfortunately, in the end, Stoutland passes away. This tragic scene was manifested in a really beautiful way. The episode really shines when Litten gains a new hope in the end and joins Ash's team. The number 7 spot goes to episode 37, which shows Rockruff's new evolution, Lycanroc's Dusk form. This was the first time a new Pokemon was revealed through the anime, and it was done in a great way. We had been teased in the episode prior that Ash's Rockruff was going to evolve, and everyone wondered whether it would be the midnight form or the midday one. Nobody expected this new form, and it was quite a shocking way of revealing a new Pokemon. The episode was a pretty good one, and I really enjoyed it. This next moment is more of a personal bias, but episode 91 of the Sun and Moon anime was one of the most fun episodes of this series in my opinion. for an episode that revolves around Pikachu. It had some great moments showcasing the Alolan and Cantonian Pikachu differences. It had some cringy moments, but it was nice seeing Ash's Pikachu interact with the other Alolan Pikachus and even battle one of them. We also saw the Alolan Pikachu culture, and this episode had some of my favorite moments. This episode is what the anime is all about, with a different style of looking at the way Pokemon live, and also making it all the more fun and hilarious at the same time. So now we've entered the top 5 zone. This next moment comes from episode 48 of the Pokemon Sun and Moon series. This episode was another mediocre one where Ash and friends played games and had fun. What made this episode really shine was the ending. Ever since the beginning of this series, we have been shown Lily's inability to touch Pokemon. Time and time again, we had been teased with Lily's tragic past, and finally, in this episode, some light was thrown on this topic when Nebby teleported Lily to Gladion, who was with Type Null, the prototype UB Slayer. This suddenly brought back Lily's terrible memories from her past. The flashback that followed was just phenomenal. It portrayed the horror and shock Lily went through when the Ultra Beast Nihilego appeared out of nowhere, grabbed her, and made its way back to its own world. This frightening scene was animated with so much emotion and really showed the dread of an unexpected extraterrestrial being causing so much terror. This was a phenomenal scene and a great teaser for the Nihilego and Lusamine arc that was to follow. The number 4 spot goes to episode 76, which involves Ash's Ula Ula trial. The episode starts with Kahuna Nanu, who cunningly sends Team Rocket to hold Ash's trial in the thrifty Megamart. A great battle follows thereafter, where Jessie's Mimikyu battles Ash's Pikachu. Team Rocket takes the lead at first and uses Mimikyu's unique Z move. It was great seeing the whole Rocket gang performing the Z pose. Ash's Pikachu quickly uses its newly learned Electro Web to save itself. What follows after this is Ash and Pikachu's Z move called 10 Million Volts of Thunder. This episode was really good and the battle animation and choreography were amazing. The best part was when Beware showed sympathy towards Mimikyu and let the battle continue. The episode as a whole was pretty entertaining. The number 3 spot goes to not just a moment or an episode, but an entire arc. Episodes 87 to 90 were based on Necrozma and focused on the story of Ultra Sun and Moon. This arc had some great moments and also explained Poipol's backstory. My favorite part was where everyone shared their Z energy with Necrozma, although there were many more moments which made this arc so good. For instance, Ash and Gladion, along with Solgaleo and Lunala, using their signature Z moves, was another one of these amazing moments that made this arc so good. I really liked the way they dealt with Necrozma, and it was nice seeing the Blinding One return once again. This arc may not be the best in terms of animation, but it still had some great moments, hence the number 3 spot. The number 2 spot goes to not just one, but 2 great episodes. Episode 42 and 43 brought us back to the Kanto region, where Ash reunited with Misty and Brock. It was great seeing them return, and these 2 episodes really brought the nostalgic vibe back. It was a pretty fun ride, where we revisited old areas from Kanto like Professor Oak's lab, and even met Bulbasaur and some of Ash's other Pokemon. The best part was when Ash and Kiawe fought Misty and Brock. It was pretty surprising seeing Mega Evolution return, and the battles were quite intense and animated wonderfully. pretty tough choosing and ranking all these great moments from this amazing anime. However, ever since I started writing this script, I knew which moment was gonna be my number one pick. My number one favorite moment from this anime has to be the entire Nihilego and Lusamine arc. These two were such a wonderful series of episodes where no episode made me bored or uninterested for even a second. Episodes 49 to 54 were so good with a phenomenal story and top-notch animation. This was such a wonderful ride where I was so hyped and could not wait for an episode to air. For someone who watched this series since the beginning, this arc was the best thing ever created. I could talk about each individual episode in detail, but it would be too long a video to watch. So I'll simply say, go and watch this arc, if not the whole series. In my opinion, this was the best arc in the history of Pokemon. And that ends this list. Did I miss an episode which you liked? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't. So until next time, Pika guys, bye bye!